I think it's so funny when people are shocked or really offended that a Dawa bro is not that religious or is kind of a hypocrite or whatever else. And I'm not putting all Dawa bros in one box, but I'm saying it's to me, it's not that hard to decipher if somebody has depth in their Islam. You can kind of see somebody who's spiritually deep or not by just looking at how unique they are. So a lot of Dawa bros, what they think is that you need to copy the Prophet. But actually what you need to do is emulate the Prophet. So a lot of Dawa bros, their idea of getting spiritually close to the Prophet, may peace be upon him, has to do with copying the Prophet. But actually, the people that are spiritually deep try to emulate the Prophet. And emulating and copying are two very, very different things. And you will notice that when somebody really has the Sunnah, has internalized it, what happens is they become more and more unique. The Muslims that I have encountered who are the most spiritually deep also are the most unique. They don't sound rehearsed when they speak about Islam. And one thing about them is that everything reminds them of their creator. Like they can look at something bad and it reminds them of their creator, and they can look at something good and it reminds them of their creator. And when I say unique, I don't mean somebody trying to be unique. I'm saying they're effortlessly, they just become unique, and that is a huge part of becoming who you're created to be in the individuation process. But if you look into the history books, which nobody points out, is that the Sahabi around the Prophet, may peace be upon him, had their own very unique personalities. It's almost like being in the vicinity of the Prophet, may peace be upon him, made them unfold themselves to their full potential. They were not mimicking and copying the Prophet, may peace be upon him. They were emulating the Prophet. When you emulate, you kind of become your own unique self. When you copy, you become a cookie cutter rehearsed version of what you think the Prophet, may peace be upon him, was. Also, let's not forget that each and every prophet that's mentioned in the Quran has their own unique flavor. They're very different individuals. It didn't have to be like that. If you think about it, right? All the prophets could have ended up looking the same. But they all have a very unique thing about them that separates them from other prophets.